Alrighty, legends, welcome back to another brand new series here on the GWSHARPY RPG YouTube channel. Today is how fast can I beat Pokemon Sapphire with only a Mudkip? This has been a fun challenge. I've only just completed it the other day, so make sure you guys do leave a like and a comment if you do enjoy this type of video. It has been a real challenge, this one. I thought it was going to be a pretty easy one because I know Swampert can body the game pretty easily, but funnily enough, later in the game we really do hit some brick walls. So we obviously pick up Mudkip, and I believe his nature was calm, so to get a calm natured, boosted special attack, Mudkip was very, very handy. You can see there we've got a bunch of Zigzagoons too, and I'm going to include them as legal encounters. So I've basically caught a couple of them just so that they can pick me up some extra rare candies along the way. It just gives me a bit of an extra boost when I get to the end of the game. It helps me save a bit of time. So each time I play Ruby and Sapphire, I'm actually going to catch probably 3 to 5 Zigzagoons, just number one for HM slavery and for, the pickup ability where they can pick up some rare candies and stuff like that. So it'll be definitely handy to have them going forward. But we obviously get through Roxanne pretty easily because she's a rock type gym leader, and we shoot over to Dooford and take on Brawly, and we actually get our first loss here. Makuhita does the damage, and we actually have to come back and try again because our defense isn't that great as Mudkip, and obviously them using a super potion makes life a bit harder. And I sort of changed my style up a little bit in this run because I originally didn't want to use any items like the whole way through. Like my original game plan, like it was in the red and fire red speed run, was I didn't want to use potions, I didn't want to use items, but there's a few stages throughout the rest of this run where I actually do it occasionally because there's just some battles that are just so challenging. But we finally get through Brawly, we beat that Makuhita, and then we go to the rival battle that everybody, gets stuck on. And we lose convincingly. So I literally have to go and train up 6 levels to try and make up the difference. And we finally get into Moorville Town and take on the impossible challenge. This was probably the hardest part of the run. The boosting in levels for the May fight was good, and it helped prepare us for it. But as you can see here, we just so easily get beaten because every time it feels like Magnemite just paralyzes us and we just can't get through. He instantly goes for Thunder Wave, and then the rest of I can't even get to Magneton because he paralyzes us and we can't outspeed. We get to Magneton and instantly lose. So I have to literally go and train against every single trainer I could find. And again, I'd already done this in between the Brawly fight and the May fight. I had to go and fight every other trainer I could find that I hadn't done because I needed those extra levels. And this is the part of the run that probably took me the longest, was grinding up for this fight. So we take on Watson again. We get to Magneton. We're trying to go with the Mud Slap strat, but I decide to go and get the Silk Scarf because I think we learn Takedown at this stage. So I thought having 10% added boost onto the Takedown would be a little bit handy as well. So we go for that, and of course we don't have Earthquake or anything along those lines because we're not a ground type, so we don't learn it. So we don't get Earthquake for a long time. So you can see I'm just trying to find as many, extra little battles that we can do. Hopefully find some trainers that want to rebattle us. It's just so tricky. We get to level 38 before we start to one-shot Magnemite. We get rid of Voltorb, and then luckily enough, we're strong enough to 2-shot Magneton. I mean, we're 15 levels higher than his Magneton, which is insane. But we finally get the job done. This is what took me the longest part of the run. So we obviously shoot up north. We head to Mount Chimney, and we take on the Aqua Grunt, or the Archie leader. And I was actually pretty confident here that I was going to be able to pretty much body the rest of the game. I didn't really think I would have too many troubles because I'm literally like 17 levels higher than everybody already. And I was like, you know what? I think we're going to be pretty good going here from here on out. But the funny thing is we actually get bodied here by Mighty Anna because we get sand attacks like 50 times. So we lose to a Pokemon that is 17 levels below us, which I just thought was insane. I honestly was so frustrated. And I thought, geez, I don't even know if I want to continue with this run because it was just so challenging. We lose the second time, so we have to go in for a third crack at it. We did have some bad luck, obviously, with sand attack, accuracy drops and stuff like that. But, once we got through, got one lucky crit, we were able to get through them pretty easy. Obviously, Flannery was pretty easy to get through. Having a Hydro Pump now at this stage, we can pretty much body any Pokemon that we're super effective against. But if we are weak against a certain mon, it really does make our life hard. So we head all the way back to battle our father, and it is, again, a challenging battle because he's got two basically legendary Pokemon in the double slacking, which is just such a... I find it so challenging. Like, I can't believe how tough a couple of these trainers are. Especially, I just think, like, in Pokemon Fire Red, like, you don't have a gym leader like Norman who has two legendary, stats-wise Pokemon. And it just makes it so tough because to do it against these two Mons is just so challenging. The strat that I had to come up with was digging on the turn that they were loafing around so that when they were normally attacking us, we could dodge his regular attacks. But even when I was doing that, we just didn't have enough PP because they're so strong. We just couldn't... I couldn't beat him. I couldn't believe it. It's like the third battle that I've had to... So we had to do a fair bit of... We trained 6 levels for the May battle. We trained probably 6 levels again for the Watson battle. And we're going to pretty much have to do that again here for the slacking battle because we just couldn't get lucky enough, unfortunately. But we did get... It was only about 3 levels in the end, but we finally get Surf as well, which is going to be a huge game changer for us because to have a 90 base power, water type move just makes life so much easier. And having it being 100 accuracy too is really, really handy. So we go back to the Pokemon Center, we heal up, and then we make our way over to across the ditch there, and we start heading up to Fortree City. And I know that I've got another May battle coming up, which is what's really worrying. So yeah, we're at the Weather Institute. We get the Mystic Water off of the cast form, and we have our second to last May battle, which is definitely a lot easier now that we are so far in front of the level curve. But also at the same time, keep notice of the amount of battles in this run that we have 1 HP left by the time we win. I think that's like the 3rd time that's happened in this run so far, and I think the very last battle of this run is also determined by 1 HP. So just a bit of a funny thing here. The other thing that really bugged me was that we kept losing to Winona as well. Like, you'd think with Mudkip I would have been able to beat her, but to lose the first time to Altaria was so, like, it was just so frustrating because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back and get Ice Beam from the game corner, but I'm not gonna have enough money to buy it. And it was just all the things going through my head in this run. This was probably the run where I felt the least I was probably more confident going into it because I thought, oh, Pokemon Sapphire, like, I should be able to do it pretty, like, a decent run with Mudkip. But man, like, my confidence was shattered during this run. As you can see, obviously we go in for the double battle, and I forgot to prepare properly and left all my other mons there. But Mudkip, obviously, you can't start the battle unless you have 2 Pokemon anyway, so you're always going to have 1, like, useless mon with you in this run. But I probably should have got rid of the other 2 beforehand, so that's a little bit on me. But the Hyper Potions to heal up Lunatone just kept coming. It was so frustrating again. There's just something about this run that really drove me nuts. To get the critical hit was nice, and we beat Tate and Liza, and we get on our way to the magma hideout in the ocean. So we take on the leader, and guess what? We friggin' lose again. And I was getting to the point where I was ready to quit this run. I just honestly thought that I wasn't going to be able to beat the Elite Four because I know that there's a lot of Pokemon in the Elite Four that are going to be really tough for a little weak starter Pokemon to try and take on. And now the other thing too is you'll notice that the level curve has really caught up to me. I'm only about 11 levels in front, whereas at one stage I was like 18, 19 levels in front. So we get Kyogre and head him out to the world. He releases his Drizzle on the planet, and we got to go and put him down. So we go and find the big fish of the sea, and we have to take him on and wipe him out because he's a big bad boy who's causing a lot of havoc. So We grabbed Waterfall, which is also another nice TM to use. And I literally was like, what am I going to do? Like, can I run from Kyogre, or am I going to be lucky enough that I can teach... I also didn't realize you could teach Strength to Mudkip too. I didn't think starters were able to use, like, Strength. I don't know. I just always associated Strength with big, strong Pokemon. But, hey, man, if Mudkip can do it, Mudkip can do it. So we go to the last gym, which is Wallace, who is an absolute star. So we obviously fall in love with Love Disc immediately in this battle too, which is really, really annoying. But I managed to strengthen him down to size, and then Wishcash comes out, who's neutral to water, which is good. So we hit him with that Hydro Pump and put him away. Celio, we're going to go for the Mud Slap strat. Just lower the accuracy a little bit and just hope that he doesn't hit us, but he does with Body Slam, because Body Slam's 100 accuracy, which must be nice. So again, this time we almost lose here to a Love Disc at level 60. At level 60, we almost lose to a Love Disc. So I'm at this point now in the strat where I might be starting to use some items here, but I also just save state it right beforehand and just keep loading back in, because this run is already starting to take longer than I honestly thought it possibly would. We get so lucky there to take out Milotic. We're 8 hours and 16 minutes into the run, and we got so lucky there. And again, we get brick walled again. So this is probably the 5th time we've been brick walled in this run so far. Level 41 Magneton just absolutely destroys us. We take on Altaria. Wally just decides to be the biggest pain. And it also doesn't help that he's got like 3 Pokemon that have super effective moves against us as well. So, yep, Gardevoir wipes us out. And literally you can see me leave it pause there. This is probably on like 5 times speed. And I'm just sitting there like in disbelief, like, oh my god, if this is what's happening at like before the Elite Four with a trainer that's got Pokemon that are like 3 or 4 levels below the Elite Four, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to the Elite Four. And trust me when I say that there are so many Pokemon runs in the Elite Four here where I've actually had to save and restart. I reckon the trainers that I get stuck on the most, and this is what I had to do, I had to train up, get an extra level, and just try and get ready for the Elite Four, because I honestly didn't think that I was going to be able to do any damage whatsoever. So we go in, we're at level 63 when we hit the Elite Four. I've obviously skipped a fair bit of the game, but we lose to Cacturn immediately at the start. So again, it's just literally go in, keep trying, hope that Blizzard hits, and it does on this one, and then really try and hope that Blizzard hits Shifter as well, because he's got that nasty double team strat. So, and Blizzard being so inaccurate as it is just makes it such a challenge. Like, there's just nothing you can do. You just got to really hope for accuracy luck. And I just have to keep loading in and just hope that at one stage I do get the luck that I'm looking for. And I do finally get some Blizzard luck there against Cacturn, but then Sharpedo takes us out. So we finally make our way to Shiftery, and look, we can't even one-shot it. We just have to get a bit of luck. Just like one of these runs, I honestly thought this run was going to be easy. Like, I came into this run thinking like, wow, I was going to dominate this run. And I actually, you don't see it there, but that, I probably accidentally didn't record some of that, because I did so many battles against Dusclops to try and beat Dusclops as well. Like, I reckon I was close to 20 tries against Dusclops. And you can see here, we lost immediately to Glalie in the Elite Four. It was just a nightmare. We had to use all our rare candies, as the Zigzagoons had found us as well. And, you know, we go the Blizzard strat here. I reckon the problem that what I should have done was I should have gone back and got Ice Beam, because I just, number one, didn't have enough PP to take on the Elite Four. It would have been a smarter move to go and get Ice Beam from the game corner. And that, literally, those 3 battles there, I've cut out so much footage because it just doesn't do justice. I probably had like 40 attempts between all 4 trainers. And then we literally take on Steven for the first go. And look, I survive on 1 HP and win the run. Like, I honestly just can't believe this run. It was one of the weirdest runs I've ever had in my life. The amount of grinding that I had to do, the amount of resets that I had to do. 10 hours and 3 minutes with Mudkip. Obviously, you know, was not the case, but it was the official time if everything went well for what I was doing. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I did not enjoy this run. I thought this one was way harder than it had to be. I enjoyed the change of pace, like playing Ruby and Sapphire. So I'm going to do some more of these Ruby and Sapphire runs as well. So please let me know in the comment section below which ones you would like to see me play. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know what starter or what mon you want me to play through next, whether it be Fire Red or Ruby and Sapphire. And make sure you leave a like and a comment, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.